In a world where data has become the new gold, as young people, we need to protect our digital life. Join us today where we get to unpack the trends and threats on the digital landscape. And I'm so excited to be joined by the former Child Vice President, Theophilus. Welcome to Young and Health.
Thank you so much.
How's it? It's been a long time. We last met last year.
Yeah, I've been working on a little bit of academics as well.
Oh,
But
interesting.
yeah, there's been some news ever since we met. We've come up with strategies to work on the junior parliament and improve a little bit and make sure that it does benefit the young ones and the youth as well.
Oh, interesting, interesting. So what are you doing now?
So I'm finishing my A level. I'm doing my Form 6. Writing this year in October, November session. Then after that, I guess I'll be back here again with yet some youth.
Okay, interesting. All right. So let's get into it. I also happy that you're still the young person, and it's good to have young people's conversations with young people. So the digital landscape, how's it? Um, I think you have been born into it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
very much.
So just looking at, I just want to get a bit personal. How's it going with you? Is it good or bad?
So when it comes to the digital part of things,
Mm-hmm.
we have okay. As a nation, we are trying to work towards the Vision 2030, right? But then that's the bigger image. But looking down to the junior parliament, how young people are being involved, we can speak of how children are now exposed to mobile cell phones, laptops, and the internet.
Yeah.
And personally, I've been working on something whereby recently we managed to win the World Robotics Olympiad representing Zimbabwe and
Oh,
to
interesting.
represent Zimbabwe in Turkey in November. So the digital world is quite evolving and engaging because for countries in Africa to be participating there, I think it's quite a big step for Africa and Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And that is enough evidence to show how Zimbabwe and young people are bringing up innovative ideas and solutions to the community. Because most of the solutions that we build there are solutions that are meant to change people's lives, not just solutions to break around in place, but solutions that are supposed to make a positive impact and change someone's way of thinking or way of doing things.
Oh, thank you so much, Theo. So, you as a young person, I'll keep referring to you,
Yeah.
right? You see that when you're now in the digital space, there's a lot. We're looking at Instagram, we're looking at Facebook, we're looking even at ChatGPT. I feel like it's just so exciting, and just from the pandemic, everyone has the age to post something. The age to have followers, and so, how then can young people, or how then are you making sure that your information is protected on, like your data is protected on the digital space? What do you do?
Right. So on the digital space, I think I'll try to branch what you have said into similar groups. For example, I'll speak of social media, where we have WhatsApp, social media like Instagram, Facebook. Right. So these are platforms whereby from the onset, as you create an account, they'll be requesting for your login details, which is the username, the password, and then you can enter in your details, your phone number, your address. And I really feel that when it comes to these social media platforms, it's not a big advice I would give to someone if they prefer to make sure that all their data is on those platforms. For example, posting your whereabouts. Because with other people who post their exact locations at different times, which I feel is something that we mustn't do as the young people. It becomes risky and makes us super vulnerable. Letting someone know where you are, especially if you're someone of influence. It means that there are now people who have information that they believe you have, that they want.
Yeah.
And
But the age, the age, like Victoria Falls, people need to know. You know how it is. We can't run away from that. What
yes,
do we do?
right. So as much as we have the edge, personally, what I prefer is telling people that I'm in Victoria Falls when I'm no longer in Victoria Falls.
Okay, so you actually encourage young people probably to post their location probably 2 or 3 days after they.
Yes, they have that
Oh, okay,
location
that's a good
based. Because
strategy. Yeah.
okay, we do have the edge. We want to post, we want people to know. Because it's quite beneficial sometimes. For
Mm-hmm.
example, how some organizations may want to adopt someone after they've marketed themselves about how they visited some places or how they're knowledgeable about some things through these social media platforms. But then when it comes to the issue of location and identifying yourself where you are and who you are, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate.
Okay.
Yes, so you have to leave room. So what I usually do is I post after days that I've left that location so that it becomes a little bit safer.
That's a good one. I think yeah, we should always adopt that. So you just mentioned the issue of posting days later. I think that's a good strategy. A young people should actually adopt. But
Yeah.
then you see the other issue. I would like to call it a big issue. The issue of cyberbullying. Um, it's trending and it's affecting a lot of our young people, and you see that it's more like a trend that every day you hear so and so has leaked pictures, so and so has leaked videos, and when you look at the ages, it's our young people. So how then do you even you yourself, how then do you protect yourself from cyberbullying, or what can you tell the other young people to refrain from having from them ending up being bullied online?
Right, so for cyberbullying and online bullying, I really feel that people should not stop posting just
Okay.
because they feel that we have a few bad apples that have posted their pictures and have leaked their pictures. Right, so however, we can come up with measures and strategies to minimize the number. But what I see at the roots of the whole story, the foundation is based on the fact of how people are not informed about how to use social media and what social media means. Because when people get to understand what is behind the screens and all the likes, the followers that they see, what is behind where they upload their pictures, then I think they are more informed. For example, how I can explain that as much as we may want to post our pictures on social media, we also have to understand that this becomes a sort of cloud computing, right? So when now we're talking about cloud computing, this means that information is being kept offsite. You don't know where it is. And the people who know where it is are the people who are running the application. For example, Meta. Therefore, it means that your data is stored somewhere. And as much as you may want to believe that you can delete it, then we now have instances whereby people can take screenshots
Yeah.
and keep that kind of information for later use. And you never know if you have really deleted it because you never know where it was stored in the first place. So when you know that you don't know where you're uploading your information, this means that you need to work with the worst case scenario of knowing that the word delete or the button delete never works.
Okay.
Right. So when you adopt that mentality of how you adopt the fact that the button delete is a myth, it just erases the information from yourself, but does not necessarily mean that the people who once had the data do not have a backup or do not have a plan B to get your data. Therefore, you should be able to understand what you're going to post. So
Yeah.
before you post, you need to look into the future.
Yeah.
Okay, so after 10 years, will I be able to be happy with this post?
Oh, what are my
Because,
kids going to say
yes, what
about
are my
this?
kids going
Yeah.
to say with this post? Because a post may mean everything in this generation, but the worst in the next generation. Yes.
Very true.
So to be more relative, we can speak of how sometimes we may not adore the pictures that our parents used to take. Like, what kind of these poses? You find them maybe hugging a tree, and you're like, this kind of poses.
What were
What?
you
Yes,
doing?
yes.
Yeah.
So we also need to look into the future before we post
Yeah.
and see what kind of accounts. You see, for example, on Instagram, it asks you what kind of an account are you creating, or even WhatsApp with WhatsApp business. So you need to know what kind of an account, what kind of uh, objective, or what are people going to see, what do I want them to see about
Yeah.
myself, the reflection that you want to give through social media. If you want to give a professional, it means that we are not going to see more of family stuff and your personal stuff
Yeah.
over that channel. if you want it to be a personal, then you need to privatize it, at least maybe on Instagram, so that you know you have limited people who have access to those pictures.
Yeah.
Yes. So information is what likes, because someone may not know of how you can privatize your Instagram account. Someone may not know how and what it means to use WhatsApp Business and the other WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yes. So I feel that for the young generation, personally, these are some of the methods that I've explored, but there's still more. However, the big gap is based on the issue of information. People
That's
need to be
very true.
informed.
That's
Yes.
very true. Because I actually like the fact when you said that you don't know what you're posting today, it's going to affect the next generation. And
Yes.
we're just so excited. We're in the moment. And then the next thing, the next generation, it's a disgrace. Okay.
Yes.
So you personally, how then, like how, I'm really like interested in how you handle your digital life. So
Yes.
how do you protect yourself from digital predators? Like you see what happens when you sometimes you're trying to open a website or link, then redirects you to another to another link, and then
Yes.
it goes on and on. How do you do it? Or maybe you actually see something interesting. How do you manage your digital life, and how do you protect yourself from predators?
Right. So I'll first explain all the accounts that I have and how
Okay.
I've been taking measures.
All right.
Right. So I have this account of, okay, let's talk about WhatsApp, the most common one. I
Okay.
believe most of the viewers have WhatsApp. WhatsApp is something that is quite fun to use. It has a very good user interface. It's not complex,
It's
but
cheap.
yes, it's also cheap. And yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, most people access it. But then if you work with WhatsApp, there's this option which they call link my device.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're linking your devices, it's something that you can do so that device A's information is sort of cloned to device B, and you can control that information on device B.
Yeah.
Right. So this can be good or bad, because if I'm not someone who frequently checks my linked devices, someone may have linked their device to mine, and maybe,
And you never know.
yes,
Yeah.
you never know. But then
So
now,
that's really something to look out for, huh?
yes, you have to make sure that. But then WhatsApp does offer these reports, right? So there are these reports that you can generate from WhatsApp monthly. Try to find out the reports. You take it and look at it. It gives you the number of people you have blocked, the number of people who have been viewing your statuses, the number
Okay.
of contacts you have.
I never check those.
You have to check those, yes.
Yeah.
Because this is the information that WhatsApp can give you so that you can monitor if there is any suspicious activity. That's WhatsApp. Now, when it comes to Instagram and how you can protect yourself, I've discovered that most people who are famous or have made it to the top are prone to hacking. Yes, because there are a lot of
Yes.
social
Yeah.
media celebrities who have posted that they are being hacked, and it is quite evident, right? But then, going back to the roots of those pages, I then discovered something of how people are creating accounts whereby they have ABC and they have ABC official.
Okay.
Right. So this from the onset then now gives us the feeling that there is something fishy. We do not know. So sometimes people, if you, they take the stance of creating the official account, right? But then when you're creating an official account, it means that some people will be lured to the so-called non-official account, and you need to inform the people who are following you that this is the correct account. Also, upon having realized the fact that someone has created an account that has your name, but it's not yours, be it the official account or the non-official account, you need to report. So these social media platforms have the ability to report, to block people, right? When you report, for example, on Instagram, it asks you the reason why you have reported. It can be explicit content, or even one of the funniest, I just don't like just don't
Yeah.
like this person, right? Yes. So all that information has to be informed to the people that you have the ability to report. Even social media groups on WhatsApp, you can also block, or even chats. Yes. So if there's someone who is doing something that infringes your rights as a user, the Meta company allows you to block and report. When you report, you're giving them the ability to do investigations and help protect your account. But then if you don't do that and wait for the next thing, you'll be hacked.
Yeah, true.
Right. Then we can also employ the general ways of protecting and safeguarding our data. The use of firewalls, the use of proxy chaining, the use of strong passwords. Right. Because, for example, we can have other people who can guess passwords based on people's birthdays, guess passwords based on people's addresses, all those things, because this is information that you may are less likely to hide, maybe because the birthday is even part of your account. You can even see your birthday on your account. For example, Facebook, it actually gives you reminders today's birthday right on their timeline as such. So that information becomes public, and we are most likely to guess your accounts and get it right if yes. So it's advised to use what they call special characters, the hashtags, the commas, the question marks as parts of your password,
Yeah,
which
strong
don't
password,
make
yeah.
sense. Another concern that may come is, what about if I forget that password?
Yeah.
Yes, because you're writing something that is not related to you. Then, for example, Google or some devices like Samsung or Apple, those offer what they call password, Samsung Pass, right? It stores your passwords for you. All you have to do,
Yeah.
maybe you can use biometrics to log in and confirm that it is you, and it does the login for you. So these are the measures that we can take. But that is if you're also sure that the password for your Samsung account is also what? Safe and
Yeah.
secure. So you need to just remember one password. Yes. Then the issue of capitalizing, you can also use small letters and uppercase letters in between, so that you can
Yeah.
mix the letters to just change a little bit. But you have to remember that. Then we'll go to issues such as Microsoft account. Microsoft account can also be connected, linked to other devices. You can take the same measures. And on Microsoft, if you link it with Google, you can have access to this one which they call Find My Device, and you can
Yeah.
also monitor your devices and the reports. Actually, Google gives you the ability, using your Google account, to monitor the activities that have been taking place on your phone. It
Yeah.
actually gives you a report of your account has been logged in with this device of this address at this particular location.
Okay.
Yes, so you have to give attention to the notifications that have been placed. These are the measures that these people have implemented. But then now our part is to just read.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you see, we see all those things
Yeah.
every day. We see those
Definitely.
things, but then I feel like there's just like a level of ignorance, and how best do you think that can be kept?
Right. The best solution that has worked for many is being hacked. They only react until they've been hacked.
Until they've been
Yes,
hacked.
but we're trying to minimize such
Yeah.
and prevent, other than work with something that has already happened that's negative. So my advice is something like, when it comes to social media, use of the internet, and security, we really need to understand the issue of the future, like I was saying. Look into the future, understand that anything you connect on the internet is more likely to be seen even after 10 years.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, with all that, I feel that people should just be informed to read, because if you see how people, even when they are given a new device, they don't even read the user manual. Number one. Number two, if it's something to do with the internet, there are even things which we call cookies, right? People don't even understand cookies. Just
What's that?
accept, or even if there's a prompt message that comes, privacy policy, they don't even
They
read it.
just press
Read
accept.
those things and
Yeah.
find out what's really happening. What does it mean? Where is the information that I'm logging in going to be kept?
All
Because
right.
it concerns you.
Yeah. You see, also now the other challenge that we have, we cannot run away from it. The world is going digital, and you see that our sibling, 6-year-old, is already having a phone, a
Yes.
10-year-old is having the phone, and then now having to translate all this information to a 6-year-old. It's I don't know how best can that be tackled, because I think that's where the major problem is. I'm sure you're also seeing videos of really young people doing crazy things. I'm like, who gave this child a phone? And
Yeah,
then,
definitely.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
So when it comes to children, we are very fortunate that with children, we have access to other platforms such as Family Link. We have tablets for children. YouTube is a version for kids, YouTube Kids. So those versions that are for children are the ones that should be given to children. one of the problems that I've discovered is how maybe a child would ask for a device and the parents just grant that device and never
Okay.
care to look at
So
what's going on.
it's all right. I would like to just stop you on that. So you mean that it's more like on this one we're looking at young, very young ages. So it's more like a parent
Controlled.
yeah, it's more so. I think yeah. What then do we have to do to make these parents aware?
Right.
Because you see our parents, we know our parents,
Okay.
and then probably they see all this information and they're not also really equipped on
What's
the
going
digital landscape or the ways to all protect that. And it's now even to them it's just like
It's okay.
yeah.
All right. So when it comes to the parents,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I feel that the most effective way nowadays of educating people is using social media, because
Okay.
people are using social media and are being harmed on social media. So we have the ability to create our own pages to inform the parents. As they are scrolling on the reels, let them find a reel that is educating them about how their child is vulnerable on the internet. So we can educate the parents using the same weapon,
Ah, nice.
social
Yeah.
media, yes. Educate them. Once they're educated, inform them about Family Link and how they can control their children's devices and monitor behaviors and restrict other websites which they don't want their
I
children to
think
be.
that's very important for the parent, eh? Because I think it's starting from there, and then when it gets to us, we really,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely.
Okay. Thank you so much, Theo, for. I'm sure you can create a page where you can just be giving us all this information.
Yeah,
That would be
definitely.
really helpful. Thank you so much for having me. But unfortunately, for today, we have to end here. There you have it. We need to protect our digital lives as young people. Until next time, bye.